Part 3. Okay, I'm actually going to go back a step and talk about how we get to this camp from New York, where we live. Up until a few years ago, when we started coming up a different way because there were forest fires in Quebec, and we would usually take a train from Seven Islands to Shefferville, which is the small town we fly out of to come to this camp. But the train tracks were on fire, so we had to figure something else out. Alright, so first, when we were at home, we would pack we had a truck, and then we had like I forget what it's called, a Kia. Anyway, so we would pack for 11 weeks, then drive to Seven Islands, which is in Quebec. We usually break that trip up into 2 days, so it was about 7 hours to Quebec City, and then we stayed the night, and then 6 or 7 more to Seven Islands the next day, where my mom's sister lived. She came up for a lot of years too, but she stopped coming like 4 years ago. And then we would buy a lot of stuff there in Seven Islands and put it on the train that we originally took. And that train would go to the small town of Shefferville. And the train ride was about 15 to 17 hours, depending on how many stops they made and stuff. Then from that small town, Shefferville, we flew an hour and a half on a float plane to our island. When we first get here, we're here for a month just by ourselves and whatever food we bring in. But we will always get stuff at the end. We always get stuff at the end of the year for the next year, so we have dry goods and stuff so we're good until the plane starts coming again with our guests. Okay, and then so my mom is the cook, and because this other small town that our fishermen fly out of, it's called Quebec, it doesn't have any roads, just like Shefferville to it, so you have to fly in. So sometimes they just didn't have certain things. Like my mom would send out a grocery order, and sometimes things would get left off because they just didn't have them there at the time. So she would have to like improvise meals and just like for whatever she had. And that was also a problem. Sometimes they didn't have gas or propane, and that's what we run everything on, like the boat motors, the generator. We have a shower. We have some lights in our main lodge. So we do have a water system here. It's a water pump. We drink right out of the river. We put the pump in the river, and we have like pipes that bring the water up, and we drink out of it. And then we have a hot water heater. It's basically just a barrel, 2 barrels, and in the bottom barrel we light a fire, and it heats up the water in the top barrel. And then we have another pipe that leads to our shower. And I remember since we were like old enough to take showers, my mom would always be like, get in and get out as fast as you can because we can't waste propane, even though like our guests take so long to shower and they never say anything. And also we used to just like bathe in the river sometimes. Not as much, or I don't as much anymore because it's just like freezing. But my sister still does every night, and not warm outside, the water isn't warm, but she still goes in anyway.